You know what's interesting is the time that I got killed, it was like leaving the body just felt so peaceful, so grand, so great. It just felt natural to be the spirit. I love being the spirit. I think about being the spirit all the time, and I look forward to going back to being the spirit, honestly. It just, you can fly. You can literally fly anywhere and everywhere. I mean, when I got killed from being burned to death the second time, I was 28. I didn't want to come back to the body. I literally didn't want to come back. So I looked up into the ceiling, through the roof, and above the building, and into the sky, and then started going straight up to the Earth's outer atmosphere. I wanted out of here, and I wanted away, and I was excited about going away and getting out of here. And the higher up I was going, I remember at one point when I was going up, and I noticed that the house was getting smaller, the ground was getting further away, everything was looking like like you had taken off in an airplane and was getting at the cloud height. And I remember at one time I felt like, whoa, I got a tail. I felt like a balloon, a helium balloon, drifting off, floating off away from the earth, and I felt like I had a tail behind me, or feathers, or what. I don't know how to explain it. It just felt real. And so, but then I started hearing one voice cry, and I looked around for the voice that sounded near, and I wanted to see that person. I wondered why they were crying. And then I heard two, and then I looked for them, but I couldn't see anybody, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't see them, but I could hear them. And the higher up I was going, the more I could hear, and then I started getting worried that, what are all these crying voices? Am I going to be a part of these crying voices? Is this my destiny? Did I do something wrong that I, need to be, in tears and crying? And then I started feeling like they were the tears of the clouds, to be the part of the rain clouds. And I thought, well, maybe I'm to be a part of the rain clouds. But then I noticed that I'm not crying, but I'm still going up, and I'm going higher and higher. And then I noticed that the crying voices, now that are a world of crying voices, are getting fewer and fewer. And they're peaceful crying. It's like, the tear type of just soft moaning, tearing cries. And I noticed that they were getting fewer and fewer, higher and higher and higher I was going, to the point where the earth looked like a distant ball below me, that now I'm up at looking at the stars, at the Earth's atmosphere, basically. And then that's when I noticed the voices got to one voice, and it was a goddess. It was a female. She says, "I love you." And the love that I felt from her, mothers of mothers, goddess of gods, angels of angels. Oh, I wanted to see her. I wanted to be a part of her. And I went, and she was on my right. And I turned to see her because I heard her say, "I love you," as I'm passing her. And I go to turn to see her. And when I do, I thought, she's going to send me back to that body. She's got the power to send me that body, back to the body. I don't want to go back in that body. So I turned away from her. I felt she's mother. She's Mother Earth. She's God's wife. She's our goddess. She's our everything too. As God is, him to be the man that gives life, goddess to be the woman that sustains life, as the egg inside the woman to be, the one that breathes, that one that eats, the one that needs water, air, food, is Mother Earth, and that's our goddess. And she has God's power, and I felt, no, you're not sending me back to that body. So I looked away from seeing her, and next thing I know, I'm being shot up into space. First, everything goes to a blur as I'm going faster and faster to now light cannot keep up. I am going so fast, light can't keep up, and everything goes from a blur to complete darkness. But I feel I'm traveling inside of a cocoon, you want to say? I'm protected, that I'm inside a cocoon. I felt like I was inside a cocoon. But I don't feel like I'm asleep. I'm wide awake. I'm, observant. In fact, one time I wanted to see my hand, and I felt, I want to see myself. I'm traveling along. I want to see what I look like. So I go to raise my hand, and I raise it to my face, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's complete darkness. There's no way I'm going to see myself. So I kind of felt, well, okay, you're not going to see yourself. So I lowered my hand, and then I went to traveling. I went to traveling in the dark, and I just kept traveling and traveling. And I started wondering, is this it? Is this all I'm going to be a part of, is the dark? I'm at peace with that, And then I started noticing thoughts of thinking of anything is fading and getting less and less. And I felt, okay, am I just going to disappear into nothingness, and my life will not have mattered, and I will not have mattered, and nothing will have ever mattered anymore, because I'm just going to disappear and not know that I even existed ever at all? I'm good with that. If I just disappear, as long as I don't ever have to experience the pain of being 15 years old, caught in the tractor tire, being rolled around the axle, being crippled, being crushed, literally crushed, being killed. The pain of being killed is intense. It is so intense. It hurts. It hurts worse than anything. And then the pain of being burned alive, to feel skinned alive at 28. And this is the time that I'm, now traveling in space, to leave the world, to leave the pain, to leave the suffering. I lost my family when I was 7. I had 2 sisters and a baby brother, and had to get put in foster care, and we all got separated and had to live with strangers. And so I just was like, the world isn't worth living in, and that's all right. I'll be in space. I'll live on, as nothingness, as long as I don't have to suffer anymore. So I was at peace with it. But then all of a sudden I see a star off in the distance. It's a tiny speck of light. It's, just a tiny speck. But then as I see it, I feel drawn to it. And as I feel drawn to it, my speed of being faster than the speed of light is drawing me to that light to get there very fast. So now the speck of light is growing, and now the speck of light has a tunnel around it. Then I feel, is that tunnel that what people talk about seeing in death, that, that's the tunnel to your next life, to your next world, to what? I didn't know. But next thing I know, I'm at that speck of light. I see a wall of stars. Right in front of me. It's like, bam, there's a wall of stars. And it's forever tall and forever long. And I look to my right, and I see the stars go on forever, like a railroad tracks fade off in the distance. I see the stars fade off in the distance. And next thing I know, I'm in all the stars. And I'm at peace with being in all the stars, and I stop moving. I'm floating in space. I'm alive in space. This is grand. This is great. I don't need air. I don't need water. I don't need hot or cold. I don't need food. I don't need anything. I am alive. I'm looking up and down, and I feel natural that I've been in space before. I've been a part of space before, and I love it. I loved being there. And I felt grand, and I felt great. I felt planet size, honestly. I felt huge. I felt star size, what you want to say. I didn't feel tiny. I didn't feel minute. I didn't feel insignificant, but I felt significant. I felt important. I felt like I've been a part of space before. And that I will always be a part of space, and I will always travel space. I will always be part of space forever. And space is a part of me forever. And it's grand, it's great, it's awesome. I feel a smile from ear to ear. I'm excited about being alive. I'm excited about being there. And I'm looking up, I'm looking down, I'm looking side to side, seeing nothing but specks of light, stars all around me. And next thing I know, I look and I see a planet, or a brighter star that feels to be a planet. And it's bigger than the other stars. And it seems to be getting bigger. And it is getting bigger, and it is getting closer, and it feels like I'm drawn to it. That is the star, that is the planet, that is my next life. That is heaven. I am going to that star, to that planet, to be born again. To mom, to dad, to another life, to another adventure. That's heaven. Oh, now I'm really excited. I'm going to heaven to live, to be a part. Oh, it's going to be the grandest. It's going to be the greatest. I'm so excited. I am so excited. And I look around to feel like, okay, that star's getting bigger and brighter. It's getting closer. It's getting faster and faster. And I looked around and I see the other stars that are blurred. And I'm going for it. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to be nice. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. And next thing I know, I feel two hands behind my arms. Stop. And he picks me up, and I feel butterflies in my stomach. Oh, I giggle. I laugh like now I'm a 2-year-old. I'm no longer a 28-year-old man that got killed. I am a 2-year-old boy that just got caught by Father. And Father made me giggle, made me laugh. Father made me feel at peace. He changed me from a man of 28 to a 2-year-old boy. And as he holds me up and he draws me close to him, he cradles me in his arms. And when he cradles me in his arms, I feel loved. Oh, the ultimate, the most peaceful, the most... it's the best. It's the most heavenly feeling. And I've been there before. This is Fathers of Fathers. This is Dad. This is who I'm a part of. And I'm happy. I feel a smile and I feel relaxed. It doesn't feel extreme smile. It feels a relaxing smile, a comfortable smile. I feel no longer excited, but at home. I feel like I'm ready to take a nap and go to sleep. Like I'm being cradled, like I'm being rocked. And there's no place better than to be where I am in his arms. This is the best place to be. And I feel myself fade to go to sleep. Later when I woke up, is when I was merging in with this body. Is when I felt like I was being delivered to heaven. I think about it all the time. I remember it all the time. And I wonder why he had me feel that way and why he brought me back.